Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Reds Room, where we take an in-depth look at Cincinnati Reds baseball memorabilia. I'm your host, Sean Sparks, and my guest joining us again today is all the way from Westchester, Ohio, Chris Likens. Chris, welcome back to the Reds Room.
Thanks for having me, Sean.
Awesome, fantastic. Well, we're going to get right into it today. What do you have for us here?
Today I brought some of my autographed Sports Illustrateds.
Oh, okay, great. And I see you got like a range of years here, dating from like here in front of me. I see like a Votto, which was that done like in 2010 or something like that?
During his MVP year.
Yeah, MVP. Oh, yeah, I see it here, August 30th, 2010. And we got one going all the way back as far as this one here, which is, I think, 57?
57,
yeah.
For
Oh, is it the middle
McMillan.
one? It's
Yes.
the middle one, yeah. The 57 here with Roy McMillan. Is that the oldest?
That's the oldest one that I have signed, yes.
Is there any older magazines, or do you know of? Or is that may be one of?
I'm not 100% positive. I'll have to look it up.
Okay.
It's the oldest one that I got signed.
Well, this is definitely among one of the older ones out there for sure, no matter what. Well, tell us a little bit about what you have here.
Well, my first Sports Illustrated that I got signed was Joey Votto in 2010. Got that signed at Reds Fest. And I just really liked how they displayed. Sports Illustrated is obviously an iconic brand.
Absolutely.
Hopefully it sticks around for many more years. The fate of magazines is not looking too good right now.
That's for sure.
But, they got, their photography is just, some of the best in the industry.
Sure.
And I just liked how, the signatures looked on them. And so I just started buying newsstand magazines as much as I could, which is the ones without the label.
Oh, okay. So there's a difference between newsstand. What are the ones with the label called?
Just like a mailing label. It just has like a mailing
Those
label.
would have
on
been like
it.
subscription based.
Subscription based, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Have a mailing label on
Okay.
them. And newsstand are harder to find because one, you had to go to the newsstand to
Right.
pick it up, whether it was the airport, the bookstore, or just the local drugstore.
As a collector, do you think the newsstand without the label are those more desirable to collectors? You
Yes.
think? They are.
Yeah.
Okay. I've seen where some of these subscription ones where people have torn or tried to remove the labels, and it just never seems like it looks quite right.
You can still see usually the glue residue that was left over on that.
Sure.
And so it's still going to be the same value as one with the label.
So if you did have the label on there and you did a subscription-based issue, it's better just to leave it there then.
I would, yes.
Yeah, okay. Leave it originally as is. Now, let me ask you this. This is something I've always thought about, and I don't know if I've ever even talked about this with anyone, is if a label was, let's say it went to Pete Rose's house, would that make it worth more?
I would say so, yeah.
You would think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that, but I
Yeah.
think that would be kind of neat.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a famous, celebrity, if you
Yeah.
got, a Pete Rose magazine that went to George Foster's house or Joe Morgan's house,
Yeah.
I would think so, yeah.
And something like that, would you get it signed by both, even if that, like Foster wasn't on the cover?
Probably just whoever's on the cover.
Okay. Well, it makes sense to me. And let's see, what else do you have here? You have Tom Seaver, which that is his autograph. If I understand correctly, you just can't get anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately, due to Tom's medical condition, he's no longer signing autographs.
Yeah.
So it's gotten difficult to find.
Okay.
And I actually brought two versions of it. So the first one I bought was just the cover.
Okay.
And you'll often find where people, not so much anymore, but they used to just get the cover signed and throw out the rest of the magazine for their collection. And then I did upgrade it to a full magazine. And you'll notice on this one the mailing label down in the corner.
Oh, okay.
So I got one newsstand, but not the full magazine.
Okay. Well,
And then one.
and that's another
mail
interesting topic. Is just having the cover. Now that's the full cover, front and back. So in that instance, is that worth as much or more? I mean, which way is better to have, the full magazine?
The full magazine, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting, and obviously, signatures can vary in price, so value can also vary greatly.
Correct.
In these also. But what else do you have for us here? It looks like we have here, is this Johnny Bench and Will Mcenaney?
Yep, I got that signed at Cooperstown during Barry Larkin's induction weekend, and had Johnny sign it, and then added Will later when he was in town for a signing.
And that's from what, 75, I assume? Or 70?
75, yep.
Yeah, 75, yeah.
The World Series clinching game.
Okay. And that's nice. I don't think I've seen that. I've seen this sign before by bench, but having Will McEnany's really...
Yeah, seeing them both on there together. Will doesn't sign too often. Makes it a rare signature.
I would think so, yeah. And let's see, last but not least, we have prime time Deion Sanders, one of my favorite all-time players.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed watching him play. And what year is that from now? Roughly.
1997.
Okay, all right. And that was signed by him. Now, did you get that signed personally, or was that did you buy that already?
Oh, I bought it secondhand. And he's actually an expensive autograph just because of his playing days with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, you will pay a lot for a Deion Sanders autograph.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, his football career, being in the Football Hall of Fame and everything, it's pretty expensive. So now let's just kind of get into, rough values. And like I said, I know the signatures, you might get a signature for free. You might pay $100 for a signature. Who knows? So what we're really just going to kind of talk about here is what is the magazine itself worth. So when we look at like this 57 Sports Illustrated here in the middle, what would something like that be worth?
It's hard to price it. I've only seen maybe the Roy McMillan signed two or three times.
Okay.
So it's easily probably $100 to $150.
Is that with or without the signature?
With a signature.
With a signature, okay. And as far as condition of magazines, is it like standard things like you're just looking for no wrinkles, creases, or?
Yeah, the magazines, if a collector bought it, when it first came out, will be pretty good condition. Newsstand condition, the newsstand editions from the 70s on back are hard to find because people didn't keep them as a collector's item, especially looking forward to get signed. But in the 80s, 90s, and even now, it's pretty common to find newsstand editions because collectors would buy them for the purpose of keeping them as a collectible. Okay.
And then what about like the Seaver? I think you said that was 78, 79.
Yeah.
What would that be worth, like signed?
Probably 75 to 100 or so now, especially with the not signing anymore.
Right, and that's probably with him not signing at all anymore, liable to go up easy in value. And then we have this really rare Bench and McEnaney signed edition from 75. What would that be worth?
Probably 125 or so, I would say.
Wow, that's amazing. Let's see. Then we have the 97 Deion Sanders.
Yeah, I think Deion charges $80 to $100.
No, I can believe it.
Just to sign, yeah. Maybe even more.
I think you only see him at like national shows.
Yeah, he hasn't signed in Cincinnati as far as I know. At least since he
So that one would be roughly with the signature in the $100 range also. And last but not least, the 2010 Joey Votto Sports Illustrated.
And the Votto's a hard signature to get as well. I mean, he doesn't do many paid signings, hasn't done one in a while, and doesn't sign much at the ballpark.
Yeah.
So he's still, around that $80, value.
And last thing, I don't know if we discussed, is there, I see black and blue Sharpie signatures. Does that really matter, or are you just looking just to get a nice bold signature, really?
For most autographs, blue Sharpie is the preferred color. It holds up better over time. So I try and get almost all of my Sports Illustrated signed in blue. But obviously, if it's one, that's just a rare signature, you'll be just happy with any color. Especially if it's one from the, the early 70s or earlier.
Well, Chris, I think that's about all the time we have for this episode. Wow, you gave us some fantastic information and things I didn't even know about Sports Illustrated magazines. So thank you for all the information.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, hey, don't forget to hit that like button and please subscribe to this channel. Check out the Cincinnati Reds Memorabilia Collectors Facebook group. There will be a link to that after this video. And until next time, folks, happy collecting.